the Indians don't really get too along with the firewater, and
Are you an Indian?
yes,
Are you an Indian?
yes.
Oh, really?
Oh, I
I thought
didn't
you were a
know.
black guy. Oh, really?
Oh, I
I thought
didn't
you were a
know.
black guy.
Peep peep the play. First off, you have, for those who don't know who this man is, this is Old Dirty Bastard. He's on Howard Stern's show, and he's being interviewed by Howard and his house mammy, who she's trained to toe the line. Okay. So she's going to try to ridicule anything that does not fall in line with the narrative of the dominant society. It doesn't matter who they're interviewing, she's going to toe the line. That's what they do. Okay. She's not your friend. She's not your ally. She's low key an op. Okay. This goes all the way back to the plantation. You would have a house mammy. You would have some buck broken house niggas who sleep in the house. And then you had the field niggas. And it was always that dynamic between these two groups. And the job of the mammy and the house nigga is to basically maintain the status quo. And in turn for maintaining the status quo, they might throw you a couple of butter biscuits, okay? And you might get to lay down with Zaddy, you know, and get some extra benefits. Okay, but last thing you want to be is outside with them field niggas. That's the last thing you want. So if you have to maintain a sense of fear, you know, when the house mammy speaks to the field niggas, or whenever the buck broken house nigga speaks to the field niggas, they have to always try to scare you into submission. They have to create a boogeyman. You don't want to go and do that now, okay? That's just to lay down just the basics there. Okay. Now, he said that he's an Indian. Now, for those who didn't know, Old Dirty Bastard is a Native American. In the Northeast specifically, and in the Carolinas, you're going to find these pockets of black people who are very well and aware that they're Native American. Now, here's the trick. They're still African. Okay. They just crossed the ocean by themselves. I'll repeat that. They're still Africans. They just crossed the ocean by themselves. They still came from probably from the west coast of Africa. They might have came from Morocco. Okay. The first to navigate that ocean, to cross that ocean, were Africans. They crossed over into South America. They were all in the islands. They were all in Mexico. Even though the government of Mexico sent one of the Olmec heads to Ethiopia as a gift. These are obviously Negroid faces that we dug up and uncovered from thousands and thousands of years ago. Now, scientists have no problems admitting that all life originates in Africa, but this is how white supremacy works. They always want to lessen your contribution by trying to muddy it up somehow. They look at you and say, "There's no way that black men could have figured out how to make a boat and cross the ocean, even though we needed black men to help us, the Moors, to help us cross the ocean the first time we crossed the ocean. Black people have been crossing that ocean for thousands of fucking years, and you have groups of Native Americans on the east coast of the United States who were here long before Columbus. Okay. And as you move west, that the phenotype and the admixture would fade from African to Asian. What is on the west coast of the United States? The Pacific Ocean. What is north of the Pacific Ocean? You have the Bering Strait. You have the Mongolians. you have Asia, you have the Pacific Islanders, right? How is it that the Asians could hop on little canoes and populate all of those little islands in the South Pacific Ocean? Go from Hawaii to the Philippines to the Samoans to here to there, bouncing, and they navigated using the stars for hundreds and thousands of fucking years. But somehow, the same people who built the goddamn pyramids, they won't give us the credit to say that we could cross the ocean too. This is how white supremacy works. This is how white supremacy works. Some Native Americans on the West Coast, we call them red natives. They crossed over through Siberia, across Alaska, and walked on down, and some crossed the ocean. Okay, but that ocean is very hard to cross. The Atlantic Ocean really ain't that hard to cross. If you start on the west coast of Africa, you could almost damn near hit Brazil with a rock. You know what I'm saying? You could hit Jamaica, Hispaniola, Puerto Rico. You could hit all of that if you know the routes and what season to take that route. So black people have been crossing that fucking ocean. And yes, there's a intermingling of black natives and red natives on the continent of North America. But they will have you believe that they brought millions and millions and millions of West Africans over here on wooden boats. A trip, a voyage that would take maybe a month or so. So it would be kind of hard to come over here and in a few years bring millions of people over here. Now, I'm not saying that West Africans didn't come over here. The black natives who were here, they belong to the same genetic haplogroup as the ones who came later. That's how God works, because that was something that had to play out the way that it did. But for these people to like laugh at black people, bro, it's a constant disrespect with white supremacy and shame on any black people who take part in this shit. Shame on any so-called brown people who are mixed with Spaniard but have a hatred for your Aboriginal, Indigenous, Red Native blood or any of your Aboriginal, Indigenous, Black Native blood. Shame on you. Because a lot of y'all is some house niggas and some coons, dog. And some fucking mammies, bro. It's like, bro, the internet is way too goddamn available for people to still be ignorant. It blows my mind, bro. It blows my fucking mind, bro. In Central America, you have native tribes that been there long before Columbus, bro. And they will let you know we're not African, bro. We've been here. I believe they're called Garifuna. And then you got my people on the Caribbean coast. And we are self-described Jamaicans. We know we came from Africa. My family don't claim to be no Native American. We know we came from West Africa. Not everybody came over here on that boat. Some people came here voluntarily on their own boat. You don't always have to diminish your ancestry and to just try to just always green light and give a put a check mark on whatever fucking white supremacist is telling you. Because remember, anytime there's a war, the victor tells the story. And they're gonna bend the history to try to make themselves bigger and bigger and bigger. And they're gonna try to erase any trace of your history. And typically, the way they do that is whenever they invade or conquer a people, they kill all of the men and keep the women. Because throughout all of history, women have been more malleable. Not all women, but a great majority are going to They're gonna do what they have to do to protect their babies because that's in their nature. If a white Spaniard comes and impregnates a black woman on a plantation, she not too worried about that Spaniard anymore. She worried about them babies. But guess what? That Spaniard's bloodline is in those babies. They might be brown, but they are cut off now from the origin. And they are more likely to align themselves with the Spaniard. You understand?
Hey,
You're Indian?
yeah,
Oh, come on, man.
yeah,
You
yeah.
gotta be
What kind of
kidding me.
Indian?
Hey,
You're Indian?
yeah,
Oh, come on, man.
yeah,
You
yeah.
gotta be
What kind
kidding
of
me.
Indian are you?
Like Tonto Indian?
Shinnecock Indian.
Really? You're Shinnecock?
He's a Shinnecock Indian. If you listen to this man's music, he says, "My grandfather sold Manhattan to the white man." No, he said the Indian that sold Manhattan to the white man, my grandfather. All of that, Manhattan, I believe, was also a black a tribe. Uh, um, all of that area, all of that Northeast, all of that shit, bro. People are like, "Yo, when did this mass migration to the Northeast happen?" Because a lot of the slavery that would happen was in the South, right? But they try to always like throw these narratives out there. Oh yeah, all the blacks just moved up to the north. No, Baltimore is black as hell for a reason. New York was black as hell for a reason. Those people were already up there. They were they weren't even a lot of them never were even in slavery. Now they were dealing with, racism as more Europeans came in, and they did that purposefully. They didn't open the floodgate to like let in a bunch of Africans to come in. No, the white men that settled this land that were dealing with the natives, with the red natives, the black natives, and bringing in Africans from the Caribbean. Okay, because the Caribbean was the drop off, the stop. They were the stop was in, let's say, Jamaica, and then from Jamaica come up to North America. Okay, they know that they was outnumbered, bro. They were outnumbered. So they needed to whiten up the population. So they opened it up with the Ellis Island and all of that shit to bring in all of these Germans, all of these, people from Holland or, all of these, not, I don't think at that time was a lot of Brits, but, Irish, the Italians came in. And that movie Gangs of New York, that was the beef in between those different factions of Europeans. But fast forward to today, they're all white. See, once you get accepted into whiteness, now you're not even really tripping. You're not set tripping like you were before about, oh, you're a German, I'm French. Oh, you're Italian. Oh, I'm Spaniard. No, all of them get on code with each other. Why we can't do the same shit? We too fucking tribal. And we really tribal. We super tribal. Like the tribal shit, that should go back to the Bible. But the tribal shit till today is deep in Africa. It's deep even in America, bro. Niggas be like, oh, I'm a Crip, I'm a Blood, I'm a this, I'm a that. Like niggas just want to click up with a few niggas and have beef with niggas for some odd fucking reason.
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know you're a Shinnecock.
Could have fooled me.
That's the kind I am.
Shimmy, shimmy, yeah. Remember that song? Give me the mic so I can take it away. He's talking about his tribe that whole time. I didn't fucking know. I didn't ever know about the shitty cock Indians. I didn't know. Look at this man, bro. Does he look like any type of like a super African to you, bro? That shit wild.
So
Hey,
you should be Big Chief Bastard, not Old Dirty.
His family was here when Columbus landed. His family was here when Columbus landed.
Now she might be a mammy, but every now and then she gonna say some right shit. And I don't want to disrespect this woman, but in order for her to be on fucking television for that long under that demonic ass fucking white man, on the radio, okay, I don't know. You got to be somewhat type of compromised. You got to be some type of compromised.
Is that right?
Yes, yes,
Is that right?
yes, yes.
So you
That's wild, man. I would suggest, and a lot of y'all might have a hard time even looking into this because you can't get over your internal racism. You can't get over it. You can't get over it. This is one thing that the white elites successfully did because a lot of y'all ain't nothing but maybe some middle class, regular, you know, normal people. But you want to feel some type of like some type of I'm better. If you convince a poor white person that they're better than a black person, you don't have to give them anything else. White supremacy works almost on autopilot because there's very few white rich elites. And then they have, of course, another very small amount of black people that might look rich. But when they tell you to go on stage and slap Chris Rock and do like a damn a humiliation ritual, you got to do it. So you really have no autonomy. You're not even really the boss of yourself. You're still and you're being subjugated. You're still a slave. You know what I'm saying? Basically. But amongst the poor people, you got poor whites, right? If you convince these poor whites that they're better than the nigger, you're better than that nigger over there. You're better. You're a white man. You belong with us. Yeah, that's right. I'm better than a nigger. Goddamn nigger. They'll have them white dudes out there stringing niggas up on trees doing all the dirty work. Meanwhile, the DuPonts, the Rockefellers, the goddamn the motherfuckers who own all the banks and the rail yards and the this and the Fords and the goddamn the Carnegies and they don't gotta never get their fucking hands dirty because they convinced all these white people, hey man, you're better than them niggers over there. And then that shit works on autopilot, and then everybody just starts basically selling a soul to try to fit into like to try to get close to whiteness. You notice even in black culture, niggas be tripping on Gucci, Fendi, Prada, Versace, and all of this shit. Why? Because you're trying to get close to whiteness. As soon as a black woman in America gets a chance, if she could get with a fucking white dude, she gonna run off and get with his ass. Because you're trying to get close to whiteness. They do the same shit in Central America, South America, and Mexico. You trying to get as close to the Espanol as you can. I'm not one of those spear chuckers. I'm not one of those short little Indians. I'm not brown. When it's convenient, I'll say that I'm brown. I'm Hispanic when it's convenient. But really, I want to hug up on these white people, the white Hispanics, the ones who control society down there, the ones who have all of the wealth and the resources. That's who I want to identify with. I don't want to identify with being black. You saw that girl getting interviewed by the Breakfast Club, that South African chick. It's worldwide, this goddamn shit. It's a sickness. Are you black? What's her name? Isla or Nyla, whatever the fuck her name is. Little peanut head chick making songs about selling her soul to the devil and make me wet, make me water, and got little kids singing that shit. It's disgusting. But yeah, she an industry plant. But she don't want to identify with blackness. She said, I'm colored. That's the same thing all of these people of color do. These Hispanics and Latinos, a lot of them do that shit. Oh, I'm not black. I'm Dominican. Ain't been in Dominican Republic your whole life. You was born in the Bronx, but you don't want to say you black, even though if I did your 23andMe, you're probably 65% fucking African. No, you're not black. You're Dominican, even though you never been to Dominican Republic and you live in the fucking Bronx. I'm not black. I'm Puerto Rican. My grandmother is Spanish. I'm only 70% black. So I'm not gonna fuck all that black shit. I'm gonna hug up over here on this Hernan Cortez shit. Let me get off over here on this fucking conquistador shit. A lot of cooning, bro. And the cooning didn't start on the plantation, bro. It didn't start on the plantation and it didn't end on the plantation. Understand that, bro. They want us to believe that we couldn't figure out how to fucking cross the ocean on a goddamn boat when we was the ones who showed them how to cross the ocean on a goddamn boat. Even the words used for fucking sailing the fucking ocean. Mooring a ship. I'm mooring a ship. The Moors were the first ones fucking crossing that goddamn ocean, bro. Actually, the Cana Phoenicians, the sea peoples, these were all black people. The original Iberians. That place they fighting over right now, over there in Gaza and the state of Israel, quote unquote, and Palestine, quote unquote. That was the Philistines who were there first. The Philistines were black people. It's called the land of Canaan. You know, in the Bible, there's a man named Canaan who they say, "Cursed be Canaan, a servant of servants he will be." Canaan was a son of Ham. Ham is the progenitor of the jet black people, not just black, the jet black people. So the Canaanites were black as fuck. That's the land of Canaan. Then the Philistines, then Palestine, then conquered by all kinds of different people, but of course the Romans conquered it, and then the white Germans came in and conquered it, calling it Israel now. You understand? It's really, bro, and a motherfucker won't take the time to look into history and to look past the Google search. Just know that that first result, when you search in Google, is going to be some whitewash bullshit. And if you don't start buying actual books that were printed in the early 1900s or the 1800s, forget about history, bro. Because if there's one thing they can't do, is erase a paper book. But they could go in there and edit the internet all fucking day. I'm even convinced that AI is racist as fuck because it always gives the white supremacist answer. The Wikipedia answer is always a white supremacist answer. You could go up and look historically black figures in history, and it'll pop up a picture of a fucking white man in Wikipedia. Now you're gonna tell me Wikipedia is some type of like a fucking source that your black ass need to be looking into to try to get some type of information, or do you maybe need to do a little bit more effort, a little more due diligence, and actually go and buy some fucking books? These people trying to fucking wipe us off the goddamn planet, dog. They trying to erase our fucking ancestry, dog. And if that shit don't piss you off, my nigga, peace be with you, my